Hi. Hello. Hey, welcome to Above Life Channel. The purpose here is to inspire your spirit and to fill you with hope. So I know it's been the end of the year, been a lot of wrapping up and holiday season-ish stuff. I'm okay. Everything's okay. It is January 1st now when I'm recording this particular live stream video here on Above Life Channel, and it is 2024. Yeah, and I wanted to make sure I came on. I know it's like almost dinner time here, Central Time, where I live here in Minnesota. And I just wanted to make sure you guys weren't like worried that that something was up or anything like that, since I did not record last week or this week. So I wanted to make sure I said hello and welcome into the new year. And I'm trying to think if I left this. Did I make this public? I think I did. Let me just check. Yes, I did. Okay. All right. Hi. Hey, nice to see you. Hi. Oh, I got a message on my screen. Let me just take a peek. You will find, I'm just going to give you a little insider info on YouTube. So you will find in the month of January that a lot of your favorite YouTubers will take time off because of the monetization piece. The really big channels, I'm talking the channels that have like 1 million subscribers or like 50,000. I don't have that. I'm just a little baby channel over here on Above Life Channel. And the bigger channels that produce a lot of content and sell a lot of stuff will take time off during this time because they don't get a lot of commercials, ads. There's no ads really. The budget's kind of crunch down and dwindle off, if not totally completely drop off. And so after the holiday season, as you can imagine, and so there's not that many, although you'll still see ads, but it's not lucrative. So this is one of my holiday gifts that I got. I got it from one of my kiddos. All my kids were home, you guys. All of my kids were home at the same time. It was very special for me, especially given this year, or given the end of 2023, the fall hit, and the last quarter of 2023 was a major rebuild for me. It was a let's take her offline and lay all her parts and pieces out, and then she can put it back together how she wants it. Like, that's what I imagine, like my soul and my spiritual team was doing when I had my aortic dissection, which was literally open heart surgery. So if you're new here, I had open heart surgery on October 13th. I was away from home. I was actually in Massachusetts, and I was there for Women's Week in Provincetown and with 2 friends of mine. And luckily one of them was very persistent and very aware of my stubbornness and made sure I got to the doctor and got medical attention. And it was a very traumatic and life-changing experience. So I am very grateful to be alive here in 2024. And as I have been, like you, probably reflecting, even if you're not like doing the whole resolution thing or goal thing, I do a word of the year every year. And I also have some other things that have come up for me. Like sometimes I'll get a spirit guide that will guide me for not for the year. Like, don't let that be intimidating. It's whatever you choose right now. Can be a quarterly thing, or it can be a short-term thing or a seasonal thing. Think about it that way. Like, it's natural for us to break things down into like seasons, because then, to me personally, it works. It aligns with like the Celtic wheel or the wheel of the year, which I like. That's kind of the rhythm I've been following the last 2 years. And it works well for me to think of it in terms of seasons. But the first of the year is a big deal, right? It's a really big deal. And so an opportunity for reset. And so I choose a word. And prior to this, like I'd say November-ish, I was actually given some, as I was processing the experience that I had with my major surgery and then the recovery that I've been on. I'm 11 weeks post-surgery right now. I'm in cardiac rehab right now, 3 times a week, where I exercise I do stretches and some exercises with supervision of physical therapists that specifically work with cardiac rehab patients like me. And there's a group of us that work out together in the same room, and we do all different kinds of machines and repetitions based upon where we're at in our journey on our healing process and what our bodies can take. And we're monitored. So I have sorry, my back's bothering me a little bit here. Just I get hooked up to all sorts of monitors, and so they're monitoring my heart, my blood pressure, all that kind of stuff, and to make sure that everything is on the up and up. And unfortunately, on Friday, one of the guys in our group, because they're all men, it's just me. I'm not obviously I'm part of the group, but they're like older men, older guys, and there's 3 of us now. There was 4, and now there's 3. Because one of the people was done, they kind of rotated out, of the program, and I have only been there for like a month. I think it's been a month. I think, yeah, about a month. And I, unfortunately, one of the guys had to get hooked up to a take-home monitor because their heart was doing some erratic, kind of different kinds of things. I don't remember if it was palpitations or something. They weren't uncomfortable. They weren't feeling any pain, but they noticed that the monitoring people noticed that there were some palpitations. So they wanted them to get hooked up with what they call a Holter monitor to take home and to kind of check, and then to check in with their doctor and stuff. So otherwise their stats were pretty good. So that was good. But I'm like, what? Right before the New Year. So I was like, oh, dang, So we'll see. We'll see what happens when I go back, and hopefully everything is good and I'll be able to see everybody. As far as insurance goes, it starts over again at the New Year. So anyway, so I've been spending a lot of time the last 3 days with my journal and working. This one is specifically for my Word of the Year stuff, and been working on the closing out of 2023. And as you can imagine, my reflection and contemplation is quite different, unique than it normally would be right now. And so I'm like, oh, it's just so much to consider. So I'm trying not to be too detailed about the questions and stuff that I'm answering or responding, that are kind of the prompts that are helping me through the process of letting go of the last year. But at the same time, giving some space, some airspace to kind of consider how 2023 has served me too, because there's so much that has happened, as you know, like I've had 2 jobs this year. I worked at a cafe and in the first part of the year, and then I turned 50 this year, and I went to Disney World for my birthday with my sister, and I was also struggling with some health concerns and things at that time, but it wasn't. Oh, I know that. I saw it, yeah. I was struggling with some health things as far as like my hormones. I was on that roller coaster of like premenopausal, menopausal stuff happening, and I was trying to figure that out. And I was also in a depression, and I lost a crap ton of weight and wasn't eating and was really depressed. And it was, I made some strides, but I also wasn't taking care of myself the best I could. I was trying to like do things and take steps to take care of myself, and I wasn't taking care of myself, like inside. I was doing the things, the physical things, like, okay, I need to make money, more money, because my business wasn't producing tons of money, and I needed to do something so I could be able to pay my rent, because the goal was I needed to move out of the house and have my own place, or have another place that I shared with somebody else that I could maybe rent from, and like there were all these things that needed to happen, and I also needed to right now it's like about dinner time, and so I can hear things going on around me, and it's very distracting. Like I had a kid over here in their room doing gaming. I got a kid downstairs also doing gaming, and then I got the hubs is over here somewhere. I don't know, maybe in the office. I don't know. I can hear the dogs walking around, but so I guess maybe the important thing to do, and when I'm sharing with you today about the first day of 2024, is really to have this conversation with you about, in my reflection, thinking about how I didn't take care of myself. I'm not talking physically take care of myself, because what happened to me at the end of the year has nothing to do with my physical body health, as far as like, I didn't have high blood pressure, I don't have like diabetes, I don't have issues with blood sugar, I don't have issues with, I don't have issues with any of there were no markers for this. This is like this seemingly random thing that happened to me, which I'm going to get some more information about this year, because I've been on the wait list to get into the aortic specialist. So I'll be going there at the end of February, and then to a special center that's an aortic. The aorta is the muscle that supports the heart, basically muscle or vascular, big blood vessel that supports the heart, but also brings blood to all the major organs in the body. So it's a big fucking deal. And so I'm going to this center, this institute, because of the uniqueness of what happened to me. And so, and I'm getting like my CAT scans and my additional testing and stuff like that, the pre-work for that done in a couple of weeks here in January. So that's all good stuff, and it'll give us lots of information. So when I say health-wise, not taking care of myself, my heart, my emotional heart, my energetic heart, my spirit, my energy, I was really depriving myself of just an amount of self-compassion. And I never, I looked up some of my notes from the Word of the Year that I was doing last year, this beautiful workbook that RebeccaCavender.com is, Rebecca is her website, but Rebecca's a good friend of mine, and a very gifted writer, and very powerful healing woman, very powerful divine feminine leader and healer, I would say. Definitely call her a healer. She's just an incredible person. I'm so blessed to have her in my life. But she has this workbook that you can do, and it's free. Oh, wait. She has it's not free. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about other things I'm doing, like my yoga is free. But it's super, there's this big bundle and packet of stuff that you get, and it's all electronics. You can download it, and there's a workshop that she did, that she recorded, that is a 3-hour workshop that you can listen to, and I mean, there's so much stuff. But I was doing the workbook last year, as I always do, and I was reading, before I was doing it this year, I was reading what I wrote, and it was so sad. I couldn't, I was in so much pain, and I was hurting so much, and I felt so alone, and I was really just, I don't know how I was able to actually do other things. work at the cafe and, turn 50 and make the best of it and do videos and work and make coffee and learn new things and do all that. And then later in the year, get another job at the community center. And actually not later in the year, in the spring, late spring, I got a better job at the community center where I was a facility supervisor. And now I haven't worked there for 3 months because of this. Obviously, I can't do any of the heavy lifting or anything, so I had to take time off of that. Hopefully I can go back, we'll see. But I was just really caught off guard by how sad my responses were to the core questions when I was thinking about that year. And it was so sad. And so this year there's such a mix of things. It's like still some of that. And, the big move when I moved to the townhouse in the summer, and then when I had really struggled with some things with one of my kids, my youngest kid, with OCD stuff, and going to like this outpatient treatment thing and trying that, and it didn't work well, and trying different counselors and different psychiatrists and different, all that stuff. And at the same time then doing online school instead of in-person school and making those decisions, and also telling him about me and about his dad and how we were separating. And, it was just, there was so much stuff. And then I shared with him, the piece of my life that I had not been talking to him about at all in the last 2 years, and the fact that I'm queer. And so there's a whole bunch of just so many things that happened this year that were very, very difficult, and I felt very alone and like I didn't have a lot of support. I did have friends that were super strong and by my side, which I'm so grateful for. And without them, I probably would not be here, quite literally not be here. And so like the whole year culminated in this big, like massive health event that I had to choose whether or not I was going to live or not. And at the beginning of the year, all I wanted to do was just ease the pain and not be here. And then in the fall, I was like, wow, I have this opportunity to leave. Do I want to leave or not? And I was like, well, no, I want to stay. I have things to do. I have relationships to continue to cultivate and grow, and there's more to life than what I've experienced and than the hell that I've been through the last 2 years. And so, I've been spending a lot of time the last 2 weeks in that place, really reflecting. And it's hard because it's literally that dark night of the soul energy. And it's been really hard. And there's been just so much. It's not taking me down. Like, it's not taking me out. It's not putting me on the sideline like it would have or could have before. I'm in a different place now. I have more of a wisdom connection, or a real solid foundation to who I am, as far as not just a spirit and not just a person, but as a heart, as this big, beautiful, strong, loving being. I am so filled with love, and I have such an abundance of love, and that's why I stayed. That's why I chose to continue on in life. And as an empath, I know that it's so challenging to feel like everything and to feel responsible for everything and everybody's feelings and emotions, and we do the best we can, but sooner or later it's just too much and it's heavy and overwhelming. And I know you get that. And I know that I have just an incredible wealth of knowledge and information and psychic experiences and just so much wisdom that I want to share with you. And I know that 2024 will give me the opportunity to do that. So I'm looking forward to the connection that we can have, And super grateful to be here. And I'm not, it almost feels like surreal, like last year doesn't even, I can't even remember that it happened, kind of a thing. Like 2022 fall into 2023 fall, I can't even remember. I mean, I can remember the things that happened, and it feels like a sad story and heartbreak and just so much pain, but it also feels like it's done. Like I did that. Like that part, I'm not going back there. I'm not going to let myself hurt like that again, because I know what love is. You know, I feel it. My heart is open, and it's abundant and generative and not limited, and it's not labeled, and it's not a relationship or a thing or a person. Love is so much more expanded and abundant than that. It's so hard to explain, but I just feel this energy of wisdom and connection and grounding and centeredness with love in my heart. And it's not like this, fluffy, airy, fairy love. It's different. It's a very grounded, rooted love. And I think it's what's missing from being empathic. We don't ground in our hearts. And I think there's so much that we can gain from working with our hearts and not plunging into the depths of despair. And I don't think you have to like relive all your pain and face all your demons and your shadows. I think that there's a balance between that and the whole spiritual, I'm just going to be positive, or what people consider toxic positivity or spiritual bypass. There's a balance between that and then all this work of the shadow. You have to face your shadow, and it's just because all these bad things happen to you in your life and you have to face it, or you've picked up these toxic traits from all these different relationships or observing things or ancestral or whatever it is, and you got to face that, and you got to dig in deep, and you got to feel like crap, and you got to totally feel like shit and be, stripped bare and beaten up with your energetics of the shadow. No. Both of these things like coexist. The goods and the bads, and the light and the dark, they all coexist all at the same time. And sometimes things are, you're in a valley, and sometimes you're in a low point, and sometimes you're in a really high point, but most of the time things are kind of pretty much in the middle. And so that's alignment, that's balance, that's connection. And I feel like in this video, I'm kind of all over the place, but there's so many things that are coming through right now, and have been for the last 10 days, that I'm like, it's hard to get on here and talk to you about stuff when I'm like, wow, there's this, and there's this, and there's this, and there's so much inside me that I need to share and educate and mentor and help others, and because it's hard to be empathic, and it's hard to know and to come up with creative solutions on your own, or ways to cope and manage that are healthy, instead of drinking, instead of smoking something, or popping a pill, or overly doing something like eating or exercising. It just, or avoidance or distraction. There's other ways that we can really work with our empathic nature and our feeling and our emotions, and not just stuff them or hide them or try to contain them. And it's not about controlling them, it's about managing them and utilizing that energy when it comes forward into a flow state that can help you be productive, be successful, and be happy, And that has a lot to do with just being present, for your life. And so I've definitely learned that how really, really important that is on a frontline kind of, I'm on the front lines kind of basis, So what did you guys do for New Year's? Did you guys do anything special? Did you? I want to read the comments below. I'd like to get back into doing that. I haven't read comments for quite a while, and I'd like to see what you guys have done, or what are your rituals for the new year. I've been constantly and consistently burning this beautiful little bundle of sage herbs that I have, and they are actually dragon's blood sage. And I've been burning that while I've been doing my writing in my journal and using my card decks and things. And then I got some beautiful, this is selenite, some of my gifts, my Christmas gifts I have here that I'm just enjoying so very much from my friends that have sent me some lovely Christmas gifts. And so what are you doing? What are your rituals? I'm curious about that. What are you doing? What's helping you out? And I'm doing cards, of course. I got my cards here and I'm doing those as well. So I'm real curious about what you guys are doing. For my New Year's last night, I actually stayed up. I actually stayed up till like 2 a.m, which never has happened before, but I wanted to be present for that energy of the new year. And I celebrated the East Coast New Year. The EST New Year and the CST New Year. I guess I kind of stayed up almost for the Pacific New Year, but I didn't actually technically celebrate that. But I celebrated with a beautiful woman and a wonderful man. That's what I will say about how I celebrated. It was good. It was good. And very, very poignant, because they were the ones that were with me as I was working through the process of healing my physical body, of staying alive here. And so, so of course, well, that makes sense. So, all right. So with that, I want to say Happy New Year to you. And I think maybe what we should do is we should have a little conversation here about physical body health and embodiment, because I know that there's going to be lots of, germs around potentially. And the reason I know that is because it's already happening. I know people that are already catching, flu bugs and colds, and that started just before the December holidays, and the big C, the COVID, that's around too. I know some people that have had that, and I've been staying very, I've been doing less things external and just kind of sticking around the house more, and, wearing a mask and things like that, because I obviously am more vulnerable right now to any kind of thing. But like I said, I'm 11 weeks post-surgery. I'm doing pretty well. I'll show you my scar at some point, but I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, doing pretty well. Day by day, though, counseling is gonna gear up. I'm gonna do double sessions again, because I'm at the point where I need to start processing the trauma of what happened around the surgery and stuff. So I need to do that. Plus, I'm gonna have some tests that are gonna that have the potential to trigger me from some memories of being in the ER, because everything was emergency that happened to me. And so when I go back into those machines again and stuff and have those experiences, it may challenge me a bit. And so I'm, kind of preparing to have a solid structure of support so that I can navigate things, my feelings and my thoughts and my emotions around that in a healthy way. Continue to focus on the healing. So we should talk about the body and healing. That should be another topic. And yes, to answer your question, yes, I will. I am doing sessions. I know some of you have had trouble trying to access my scheduler, because I have somebody that's helping me, but everything isn't like all set yet. So if you are trying to get access to me for January or February, you should be able to now. The link should work. And if it doesn't, just email me. You can send me an email to abovelifechannel@gmail.com, and I will just respond to you directly and get you on my calendar, because I am doing sessions. My sessions are intuitive life coaching sessions. They are not personal channeling or celebrity channeling. They're not that. It's different, It's a different level of support and empowerment. It's definitely mystical, but it's a different level of support and empowerment. It uses your brain, your heart, your soul, and your body and energy to really help you connect. So for yourself, to connect with yourself and your inner wisdom. So yeah. So I'm also doing a group, another Inspiring Psychic Experience group in January. So that is, the link below to that is also available and you can sign up for that. I also have one scheduled in February. You can also sign up for that one if you'd like to do that as well. So I did promise that I would do some channeling of celebrities in January. I will do that. I'll do some public channeling, and I will also offer just a couple of celebrity messages here at some point in January. I'm not sure when. I got to work it in with my appointments and stuff, but I have been doing sessions, you guys. I've been doing sessions the last few weeks. I've had clients and stuff, so I have been doing it. Just people that have reached out to me, I've just scheduled them. So go ahead and do that if you're interested. All right. So I hope I've inspired your spirit today, filled you with some hope, and encouraged you to live your life. It's your life after all, and you get to live it. So just live it. Thanks for watching.